it really is the kind of community that engages you, invites you to become a part of whatever it is that they're doing.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
Okay, so Northmount School is in North York. And at the time, trying to remember exactly when it was, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, my daughters were at Hawthorne School, which is in the general area of where Northmount is. And my son was graduating from SK, was looking for a school for him, and really wanted an all-boys school. So we looked into Northmount, my husband and I. We had known about Northmount before, many years ago, through some other families that had sent their sons there, and heard good things about it. It's not a huge school, which was actually a big draw for us because it, in our opinion, it meant that our son would be able to relate more easily with other people rather than kind of get lost in the crowd. So it was very straightforward, very easy to approach Northmount. We went to the school, at that time chatted with, really sorry, this is like 8 years ago. My memory is so bad. I don't even remember who exactly we spoke to, but we did find out about the school, liked what we saw, liked what we heard. And my son then was going into grade 1. He's actually in grade 8 and he's graduating this year. So he took to the school really quickly. And our family did as well, I have to say. It's a very easy environment to be engaged in. You could be a quiet person. You could be a more, you could be a chattier person. When you go in the school, there is always someone there who greets you, someone who has something to update you or say something about your son, right? Your child. My son really liked it, even from grade 1, enjoyed the classes, enjoyed being with his classmates. I smile now when I think about it because it just seems so long ago. He was so much shorter then. Obviously, he was in grade 1, and now he's taller than I am. So it's been quite the journey to have been at Northmount with our son there. Actually, now we have 2 other sons at Northmount. So apart from our son in grade 8, we have a son in grade 4 and one in grade 2. Okay, so if you talk to my grade 2 son, he'll tell you that his favorite thing about the school is gym, probably recess, because he gets to run around. And I guess being with his friends, he does enjoy his classes as well. He tends to do his homework right away. For my grade 4 son, he enjoys being with his friends. He enjoys interacting with his classmates, but with his teachers as well. That is a big draw for him. Last year, I do remember he kind of struggled with math, kind of struggled with language arts. But his teachers helped him along, helped him to understand the concepts better. And actually this year, he is doing really, really well. He's doing much better, and math is probably one of his favorite subjects this year. My grade 8 son, he loves art. He pretty much likes all his classes. I have to say he does enjoy his art. Likes I would say language arts and the extracurriculars too. Right now, they're in the beginning stages now. The beginning stages of putting on the school play. Started a few years ago. Because of the pandemic, they did end up doing, like, it became virtual, then it became like filmed and everything. So this year they're still going to do it in that way, the same way as a film. But this is a big production for the school, and the grade 8s always get, I would say, a chance to have the bigger parts just because it's their last year. So they enjoy all aspects of the school community. I would say the Northmount community itself. So the academics is one thing. It's the kind of school that you can approach a teacher or even the administration about if you have a concern. But the community itself is quite special. That probably sounds very trite. In this case, it really is the kind of community that engages you, invites you to become a part of whatever it is that they're doing. And it's done in a very natural way. I find that I am engaging and spending time with other parents who also value pretty much the same things, right? Education is very important to them. For the most part, nobody's really scared of work. Homework is homework. It just has to be done. And the school really does help prepare the students for either a higher grade, or in my son's case, my older son's case, preparing him for when he leaves the school for high school. The community is really a gift. It's been a blessing to be in this school. I've been able to connect with other parents who have become very good friends. We've worked on projects in the school together. I've also been able to engage with the staff, with the parents, with the teachers, the administration. It's just a very friendly school. When you say community in this school, it really is a community. Everybody kind of just pitches in, asks about you. If they haven't seen you for a little bit, then they'll ask how you are and kind of catch up in the hallways, or, well, these days, not really in the hallways, like outside when you pick up your kid or just anywhere when they see you. It's been good. This has been good, especially during the pandemic. This has been a total blessing. Not that it surprised me. I was more probably just happily affirmed, I would say, about that close-knit community that we sensed when we were just looking at the school. To be a part of that and to have our son there, and then to walk into the school. In those days, parents could be in the school more easily and walk in the hallways. Like literally every teacher he had, if I saw them, they had an anecdote. They had a little something to say about how my son was doing, how he was doing in their subject, or how they engaged with him, or just feedback. And the feedback doesn't always have to be positive, of course, right? But there was always something that they could say. What that told me, what that told my husband and I, is that they were very aware. They made that effort to pay attention to their students and to really get to know each one, which is why we were happy that it is a growing school. The school is growing. And yet they managed to have that smaller school feel where the students are known by name and the character is important to them. Character is formed. It's very gratifying to see this because often you read the newspapers, you watch the news, and there's just too much unkindness out there. And in the school, it's wonderful to be able to see it really is an extension of the home in this case. And we're very happy that our family is in that school because we feel that the boys are getting as much as they can in that school environment outside of the home. Values. Well, it's a Catholic school, so definitely Christian values, right? Service, community, hard work, excellence. Sorry, that's more than a few words, right, Brooke? Sorry. It really is. It's but those are key words for me. Faith, and that faith, I would say that faith is important in this school, not just because they say a bunch of prayers and they make the sign of the cross, and those are important too, but it translates into more than just a show. A show. I like a few things that you do and they're Catholic. It translates into looking out for each other. So service. It translates to excellence, doing your work as well as you possibly can, giving your best, and community, just being a member of a whole and doing your part, doing what you need to do in order to succeed, but to help others as well. It's really, each family is different for sure, but I would say many, if not all, many of the families that send their sons to Northmount, they care about their sons doing well academically, but they also care about the character piece of that education, because you can't just form the intellect, you can't just form the mind. You do have to also make sure that you're also educating the heart, right? And you form that character, and this young person grows up to become a very responsible and kind human being. And I think that this is something that is very common in many, as I said, if not all of the families that send their sons to Northmount. Wow, that is a big question. So for my oldest son in that school in Northmount, I would say, many things. He's done well, really, really well academically. Grade 8 has been, I would say, a banner year for all of the grade 8s. This year, my son was elected to student council, so he's treasurer, and he's been very active in many of the activities that the school has. But he's been proud too, I think, of just the work that he's done in his subjects, right? He's a couple of weeks ago, or maybe just last week, he finished a fairly long paper for social studies, and he was quite pleased. He worked really, really hard on it. It amazes me because he's 14 and they're writing these really long papers and just doing all sorts of things, doing math at a higher level. And again, I do, it's very easy for me to see how tall he is, how much older he is. But I do look back with great fondness to when he was in grade 1, and his greatest achievement, I think, then was just to be able to show what he did in art. And even then, he really loved his subjects. He really loved being able to do things well. My grade 4 son is especially proud of his efforts in math and French. We don't speak French. So when he's proud of his French, that means he's worked really hard. And so I'm especially proud of that as well for him. He also got, he's getting a story published with polar expressions. So the school participates in that. And so he's going to have one of his stories published there. He's super happy about it. My grade 2 son, he's preparing for First Communion, to receive First Communion. I think he's especially proud of the results of his hard work. So when he's done, when he studied for a math test or a spelling test, and he gets a good mark, then he's especially proud of that. Or for Jim, when he happens to almost score a goal in soccer, then he's super happy about that as well. We have been happy thus far with our engagement and just the way that we've been able to relate with the teachers and the administration of the school. So we have been in the school for 8 years. In that time, and not only have we experienced how easy it is to approach the teachers and the administration with concerns, but that they listen and, to the best of their ability, try to help us figure out how to resolve maybe a challenge that we've brought up or a concern that we've brought up. They really do listen. They explain things to us if something is not possible, or they're just willing to work with us. And this is something that's very important. I don't think there's a perfect school out there. I mean, every school has, a little, something that could be, improved on, something that could be better. This school, though, takes that and makes it better by working with the parents. So although we can't eliminate, I would say, things that need to be improved on, we can't eliminate those things. What is happening is that we are able to deal with whatever comes up because the staff and the administration have been very approachable and willing to work with the parents. Well, number one, your child will be known to those in the school and in a way that is personal. They will recognize the child as an individual and help this child be better, right? Or to grow up to be a better person, both in academics and character-wise. Number two, the community is very supportive and very engaging. And I think that's very important in any school because the child has to go home at the end of the day. So it's really important that the school and the home, to a certain extent, are aligned and connected. And it's the community that helps to make that possible. That support is there. A third reason I'd give is if you want your child to go further and really do well in whatever school he goes to after elementary, this is the best school. This is the best school for that. It's the kind of school that helps the child prepare for what comes next. It's not just the optics, it's not just bells and whistles, it's the real deal. So this is the kind of school that you want your child to be in, to learn how to be better, and then, go on to do even greater things in other schools. I'd say visit the school, whatever school it is, but especially visit Northmount, because it's just different to be in the school, in the building, speaking with people, seeing the kids in action. It's remarkable. These boys really, each one is so different and each one is unique. And yet you see that spark of interest, that love of learning, and just that excitement of being in the school. Probably not excited when there's a test, but just that happiness of being in a community, in an environment that supports them. This is something that's very hard to put into words, and is better experienced, better seen in person.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.